Drivers behind the line. 3, 2, 1, go.
The autonomous period where robots are pre-programmed lasts for the first 20 seconds of a rebuilt match. 4 of the 6 robots made their way into the neutral zone, trying to collect as much fuel for their alliance as possible. 5402 Reckless Robotics doing a little bit of a spin move, allowing them to capture that fuel and take it back to their alliance station for future use. Blue Alliance is probably his strongest autonomous here so far in this match. 1501 delivering a good volume of fuel, picking up some from the outpost. Scores 47-32 in favor of your Blue Alliance. They'll get that slight advantage moving into the teleoperated period. They'll go ahead and make use of that, getting the Red Alliance their first solo hub opportunity. 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in this match. It's all remaining is teleoperated, which means human players have picked up their controllers and driving their robots that their team built this season. 4982 Olympus Robotics throwing fuel around like crazy, trying to shuttle some into their alliance side, passing it over to their alliance partner 829 the Digital Goats, allowing them to score a couple before their hub becomes deactivated. Blue Alliance with their active hub, 1501 Team Thrust, able to deliver a good amount of fuel. Many teams making use of those QR code looking things called April tags for positioning and reverse kinematic calculations to launch that fuel right where it needs to go to score points for their alliance. Those fuels are those yellow spheres you see around the field of play, about 500 of those available for teams to display. 5402 Reckless Robotics and their teammates launching a good volume of fuel, able to get used by their alliance opponents as it comes out of the back of the hub. Scores currently 165-104 in favor of your Blue Alliance with over a minute remaining in the match. Red Alliance getting their second active hub. It's dwindling and will return to blue in just a few moments. 67-21, Tinley Trailblazers ready for that active hub, allowing them to launch a couple of those fuel into the air before it activates. Ultimately, those game pieces get scored as they break those line sensors at the exit of the hub, so many teams are planning carefully when to launch that fuel. 4982 making use of that shuttling design to get that fuel over, launching a few towards our judges' chairs. Judges will be monitoring that frequently as we enter the end game period. Last 30 seconds, both of those hubs become active. Many teams considering should they climb. 10, 20, 30 points available as the higher they climb. Many teams, though, will continue to score those points via fuel, thinking that they can pick up more than they can score while climbing. Many teams aren't able to climb and still focusing on that during this season's design phase. Final seconds of this match counting you out. 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of qualification match 21. 1501 Team Thrust appears to be off the ground. We'll have to see how those with a score of 305-180, about 40 points off from our high score, but still going to proudly walk away with 4 of those ranking points. Both of those teams cresting over that energized requirement, which you need 100 fuel for. Stick tight for qualification match 22 here at the FIN District event in Lafayette.